there's this thing that how men see that we're so weak. There's this fragility that they see in women all the time, and they want to be protectors and all of that. But
are women actually weak? Are they weak?
We are not weak. Men cannot go through half of what we go through. I'm like that. I said I'm not gonna have children, and I every day I'm like yes, because I cannot imagine.
Let's come back. Did you just say you're not gonna have children?
Not getting married, not having children.
Since I knew Tari, this is the first time I'm seeing her in my private space, and I want to appreciate you, Tari, for really making our time to come. I mean, with all the hurdles, the rain and everything, you still made it to my house today. Thank you so much, girl, for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I'm really honored. Thank you.
So why have I not been seeing you, Tari?
You know why?
Why?
You know why?
Why?
But I thought it's gonna come in conversation. You know the reason why you don't see me, because I've not seen you for months. I'm not seeing you this year.
Yeah.
You know what happened?
That's true, Tari.
You are not seeing this year.
This is July.
Yeah.
It's our
You
first
know
time
the
meeting.
reason why. And we have to talk about it when we're done with this video. We have to talk about it. You know the reason why.
You
hurt me very deeply.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And I didn't even know that I actually did that. I mean, because Tari is always my guest on a lot of my radio programs. So she used to appear. All of a sudden, I haven't seen her in like forever. So she said we're going to talk off camera.
Yeah, but if you want to ask about it here, I can tell you what happened.
Okay, what did I really do? Please tell me.
Do you remember the last time I came to the station? That was last year, like October. That was before the US presidential election.
Yes.
And I was Team Kamala, and you were Team Trump. Do you remember that? Do you remember that debacle?
My God!
Hold on. Do you remember that whole thing?
Oh my!
After that, when Trump won the election, and I was posted because we were all disappointed. And you texted me and you were like, you guys should calm down. And I was like, I felt betrayed. I felt betrayed. I felt like you not just betrayed me, you betrayed us. Like we betrayed women. You betrayed women. You did.
Yes.
You did.
Are you serious?
You did.
Oh my God.
And you ganged up with a man. You ganged up with a man.
My colleague.
To come at me. Which I heard from him this year actually.
Yes.
Yes, he called me. No.
Wait, was that the reason you declined?
Yes.
Jesus Christ!
I could have been available. Yes, I said no.
Oh my gosh! I'm going to tell you.
I have principles.
He called me and was like, "Gracious, please, I would love your friend Tari to be on my program." I said, "Okay, no problem. Let me send you a number." I did not even know that you were angry. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, because after the election, he called me and he was like, "Here's what we want." Yeah. So I was like, "Hell no."
Oh, Tari, I mean this Team Kamala thing. Anyways, no problem. See, what are certain things that women even go through that we really don't talk about enough? And because you are one person, you're big on rooting for women a lot. You are actually big on.
I think that ultimately things we don't talk about harassment, talk about abuse, just day to day things that only we women can actually understand. We need to talk about these things a lot, because most time when somebody a lady comes to talk about it, she's really shut down. So usually there's this stereotype women have about like us being very strict, in the workplace. Like, oh, if you go somewhere and no one is working there, she's always not nice. She's always this, she's always that. And I'm like, no, I even if they are right, there are reasons why, because there is this leeway we give to men that we don't give to women. Right? There's a whole spectrum. You're either here or here. Like, men are given that fluidity. Like, you can be nice but still disciplined and still strict, and people will respect you. But as a woman, you can't be both. Right? You cannot be both loved and respected. You have to always choose one. I think that was Machiavelli that said something like that. And Machiavelli said it's better for you to be respected than loved if you cannot have both. Women cannot have both. We don't have both. So a woman knows that if I'm in this space and I want to be respected, I don't have to smile. I have to be very strict and very contained. A man can come and smile and be like, hello. And I'll be like, yeah. And they'll still respect. Women, we don't have that. Right? And when I go to places, one thing I always make sure is that I always give benefit of that for women. There was this thing that was happening in Yenagoa a few weeks ago, and women were just like, because a woman, look at she's baby. And I had to be like, you guys should stop. That woman actually helped me. There's always this thing where women are in places. Like, people always there's a lot that happens to women. I think that only us women actually understand, and we need to speak about it. And when another woman is speaking about experience, we don't go and invalidate her. We don't go and shut up. We say we understand, and we have that conversation. So yes, so many things that only us women actually understand. So yes, that's the game.
But okay, but the thing is, when you actually, a lot of persons always have that notion of women being very wicked once they are high there,
power,
in place of power, and lots of times this is not the first time. So even while I was growing up, I used to have that assumption about women that I think, oh, if there's a woman there, but from what you were saying, you feel like it's just because of how society has actually placed women. So women have to do more. They have to do more.
Yes, and I'll also say this. I believe that one of the most inhuman things you can do to someone is take away their humanity. Chairman always said something like, we don't give women their full humanity, right?
Yeah.
And she's true with us, because we can understand like right and wrong for men. We can excuse certain because what we understand men's humanity. We can't do that for women. They can be wicked women. Like, women are human beings. You can be either good or evil. That nobody likes, but you're respected. The one people say she don't get husband for house, the one people be like, go me that one. You can't have both. It's very hard.
So for the fact that they are tough, that way doesn't mean that they are wicked.
No,
they
just have to be. They have to be.
Because
they have to be. But you see what happened to women. Yeah. You see what happened in politics, right? One woman does something and it's like, oh, that's why we should not allow women to be in this kind of places. Right, just because of what one woman does, you see, I fuck him. This is why one should not be here. We've had so many examples of this thing happening. Daisy is a very good example. Okay, whatever you feel about her, people say that's why we should not have it. But it's like men do worse. I would never say, you know what, because this man is corrupt, so we should not have men in this space anymore. We say that particular man is corrupt. That particular man is bad. So yes, that's one thing I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not here to say, oh, all women are good. That's very sexist. Women are human beings, so they can be good and they can be wicked women. That it's not because of anything. They are wicked, and that's fine. They say they are wicked men, but I'm saying that because of I have been in that spot. I have worked with women. I've spoken to women. My whole life has been women. I've been a feminist for like when I was a teenager, before we had this whole emergence of the Nigerian feminists, right? I was that feminist. When I would go somewhere and some people would be like, what is it? What are they talking about? That kind of thing. And I have been there too, working in places, you can't be both and then you want people to give you respect. You have to choose one. It's either you're the nice one that people step over.
I actually wanted to react to a story I saw very recently on the media. So a guy went to, I think a business guy went to a club in Port Harcourt. And then I think he went to a VIP that was already booked by two girls. And he went in there and somehow they had an argument and then he assaulted them. They had bruises on their heads and face, mouth, and so. And then I was wondering, I was thinking to myself, can this guy actually do this to
a man? He would not.
He will not, right?
He never.
How do you think men actually perceive women to even
weak? And a lot of men, just the mere fact that a woman can stand up to them, you have bruised their very fragile ego. Like how, like we can understand men being angry, men having rage, but how dare you as a woman have that? Because you're always supposed to be very modest, very calm. You don't speak up. You're just very, that should not happen. So maybe what he was expecting, the girl should be like, no, I reserve these spaces. Like we should always be very calm. They don't understand that no, you could stand up for yourself, and you should give it that audience too. He will not try that he was a man.
Yeah,
they know that. He will not do that. He could. Some men can be that crazy, but there's this thing with women.
It's difficult for them to actually do that.
It
those
is.
Women were to be men.
They just feel like you should be so passive. So passive, like whatever. Like even most times you're boarding a tricycle, like any transportation vehicle, you try to speak up and be like, this is wrong. There's this anger men have, like, how dare you, your audacity, the nerve you have as a woman to even talk to me. Oh, the things we are saying.
But there are certain I've seen, like you bought a commercial vehicle and they say a man was seated before you came in as a passenger. There was a male passenger at the middle. And because you are a woman coming in, the male passenger will want to step aside and say you should go in, and then I've actually seen those things happen. And I was asking the other day, hold on, am I not paying same amount you're paying? Am I not? So if you actually want to have this kind of privacy, why not get your own vehicle?
When I was in school in NGU, right, the time I really bought was a bus, and the man said he will not allow me to stay the front seat, allow me to sit out, like, you know, I should sit close to him. That he does not allow women to sit, like, you know, close to the window. And I was like, well, that's not even your choice to make. But I'm not comfortable with that. Thank you, I know what you're doing, but no. There's this thing that how men see that we're so weak, there's this fragility that they see in women all the time, and they want to be protectors and, you know, all of that. But
you know, are women actually weak? Are they weak?
We are not weak. Men cannot go through half of what we go through and still be sane. I bleed how many days every month? Men cannot go through that,
my dear.
They can't even do that.
I mean, let's talk about that.
No, they can't do that. The things that we go through emotionally, men can't do that. Like, we go through so much, and we are still still enough. Why do we have more male serial killers than women? Men go through little things. They have to kill. You know, they're looking for an avenue to unleash it. We go through so much hell, and we keep it together. We're calm, we're collected, and we go through. We pull through. Women are amazing. I said I'm not gonna have children, and I every day I'm like, yes, because I cannot imagine.
No, let's come back. Did you just say you're not gonna have children?
Not getting married, not having children.
Why, baby girl?
Where do I want to start from? Marriage is not an institution that favors women. But let me say this: nothing is really set on stone. But I don't think I'm gonna do any of that. Trust me, I'm okay the way I am.
Tari, because I have all of this endowment. No, I don't understand. You can have all this endowment. I want to say you're not going to marry. I'm hearing this for the first time. Really, Tari?
None of it.
But let's also see. You and I, we're going to have this conversation again because you're going to highlight the reasons for saying that you're not going to
whenever you want it. Okay. I'm not always down for you.
No.